Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Young here, and today I'm back in our Fortnite video. And in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys some tips and tricks on how to win more games in Arena here in Season 10. And so I'm going to be talking through this gameplay, and I also have one gameplay, the one that I'm showing here at the beginning, and I also have one where I had a pretty good clutch at the end. I'm going to be talking through and giving you guys some tips and tricks on how to win more games in Arena. And before we get into the video, I have a V-Buck giveaway. If you guys want a chance to win some free V-Bucks, all you guys have to do is to drop a like on the video. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel and to subscribe to my second channel. The link for that will be in the description or the pinned comment. Turn on my post notifications and as well comment down below your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account. And as well, if you guys would like to support me in the item shop, all you guys have to do is go over to the item shop, go down to support a creator, type in my code is Young Humor, and you guys will have me added and supported as a creator. I really do appreciate all you guys who do add me. And alright guys, let's go right to the video. Alright, so here in this video, I wanted to be giving you guys some really good tips when it comes to Arena and just how to win more games and just be more successful when it comes to Arena, whether it be the early game, mid game, or at the very end of the game, because that could be the most challenging part because there's a lot going on and there's a lot of different positions you can take. You have the high ground route, you have low ground, then you can be in the middle depending on how many people are left, because in Arena there's going to be a lot more people towards the end of the game, and rotations are going to be very important, and also positioning is going to play a huge role when it comes to the very end of the game. And I really wanted to show the gameplay I had on stream. I got a 14 kill solo arena win. For whatever reason, it wouldn't let me download or save that video from YouTube on my computer. I could do it for other streams, but I couldn't do it for that for some reason. But if you guys want to check it out, just check out the live stream I had just before this video. And I think it was like the third game in. I died off spot a couple of times, and then I got a 14 kill solo arena win. So if you guys want to see that one, definitely go check it out. It was a really good gameplay and had some pretty clutch kills in that game. Would highly recommend it. So here in this video, I decided to land over, it was right next to the racetracks, is going to be the mansion. And I started landing here just a little bit for Arena. It's a pretty good spot, and just because not too many people go to that location, and you're going to get pretty good loot from there. I used to land where the soccer fields are. It was pretty close to Tilted Towers, but they pretty much destroyed that entire area, so I can't land there anymore. So I decided to change up my drop and land where the mansion is. So I think drop is really important in Arena because you want to land somewhere where you can get good loot that not that many people land. But in Arena, a lot of people are also trying to do the exact same thing. So corners of the map and stuff like that, it really just, you have to pick and choose where you want to land, because a lot of times, even though there is places that are far on the corner, there still can be people who land there. In public matches, it would never happen. There's no one going to land there. But in Arena, definitely can happen, and a lot of people might go to those locations. So you want to find a location that not too many people are going to be going to, and maybe you might have one or two at most challenge from time to time. But you want to find a spot that not too many people challenge every single game, because getting off the spawn can be pretty difficult, especially in Arena against people who are very good. So if you're in the upper points, just fighting people off spawn is just going to be not the best use of points, because you do have a bus fare, and if you lose a couple games off spawn, you are going to be losing a lot of points just from that. So having good location can be very, very smart. So when it comes to the middle of the game, this is really a tricky one because it really depends on the amount of points you have, and I'm just going to be talking about when you have a lot of points. So you have a game where you have like 25, 30 people, or it's probably a little bit more than that in the middle of the game, later the game. And so when you're playing with this is really important, because you really do have to keep in mind exactly where the zone goes, because I think that's one of the most important parts you have to realize when it comes to the end of the game. And just being very good at Arena, you really have to understand where the zone is and exactly how to get to the zone, while also avoiding a lot of people, because in Arena there's a lot of people going to be boxed up and playing around those corners. And, you know, as soon as you get into the open, as soon as you start to rotate, you're going to get beamed by like 5 or 6 different people. So Honestly, in my opinion, when it comes to the middle part of the game, I usually like to stay a little bit on the low ground side. I usually don't like to challenge too many people, and right now I don't have that many points, so I am playing a little bit more aggressive than I normally would. But when I am going against very, very good players, I definitely play pretty slow in the middle of the game because there just really isn't worth trying to make the challenges, because especially if you end up losing, you're just going to be it's going to be really bad trying to get those type of points over and over again, because you're going to be wasting a lot of time constantly loading up games just to get like maybe a couple points every game. So when it comes to arena and you want to get a lot of points very easily, I would just say probably the best tip I can give you guys is really just worry about getting as many points as you can towards the end of the game, because during the middle and at the beginning, you should really just be focusing on having really good position and also having really good loot. And towards the end of the game, I would highly recommend just going for points, because in my experience, I used to play, when I played Arena, or I think it was back when the cups were in the game, and that was a long time ago. I mean, that was probably just a couple months ago, back when I used to play a lot of those. So I would play those, and I used to go Tilted Towers back when Tilted Towers was still like a really popular. Everyone used to go there. I would go Tilted Towers almost every single game and pick off a couple people off spawn for points. But the more I played and the more I got really good towards the end of the game, the more I realized that probably isn't even the smartest idea. Maybe you can, go positive when it comes to points doing that, but the majority of time it's going to be very difficult, especially against those really good players. So you're better off just focusing on getting loot, having really good position, and at the end of the game, that's where you're going to get a lot of kills and also get a lot of points when it comes to placement. So all your points, pretty much for the most part, is going to be coming towards the end of the game. So that's going to be the most important part, really, throughout the start of the game and the middle of the game, is really just going to set you up to get the most amount of points possible, because you want to have the best loot and the most mats. So getting max materials really isn't the hard part. It's more just having the best positioning, and then also having enough traps, enough campfires, and different things like that to set you up for the last part of the game to really give you the best advantage possible to win very easily, because going against a lot of players in a tight zone is definitely not the easiest thing to win. But if you know what you're doing, you can be pretty consistent and win a lot of games in a row. So when it comes to positioning at the end of the game, it really just depends on how big the circle is. When the circle is about the size it is now, I usually focus on, it really depends. I would say you either want to be in the very center or you want to be towards the edge. I would probably recommend being a little bit more towards the edge, because you're not going to get focused by a bunch of other players. But if you are in the middle, you're going to have the best position possible for whatever next zone it is, because if the next zone is to the right of you, it's not gonna be that big of a deal and you're gonna be able to rotate very easily. But if I'm on the far left side and I'm playing on the corner and the zone happens to be on the far right side, it can be a little bit of a challenge to go all the way from one side to the other side, and especially if you're trying to use a launch pad to go across, because you're gonna get beamed out of the air very fast, especially if you're going against those really, really good players with very good aim. So using launch pads towards the end of the game, I would probably never recommend ever using. I would always try to recommend rotating using just your materials and then just movement. If you have like impulse grenades, that can be very good movement, but I would probably never ever recommend using any sort of launch pad or anything like that to rotate at the late part of the game, because chances are you're going to get caught in like a tree or something, your glider's going to come out, and then you're just going to get beamed by like 4 or 5 different people, and it's just not going to be a very good sight. So when the zone is still decently big, I would say the one before this one, I would play the edge like I said. But when it gets down to about this size, or maybe even one smaller, I would say about to this size, you should probably really try to focus on trying to go for high ground, because that's going to give you the best possible advantage to win. And this is just especially true at late game and arena. And when you watch really the best players play, usually the people who end up winning are going to be the people who have the high ground for the longest amount of time, because when you're on top, there isn't rifts in the game anymore or anything like that. So if you do have height, there's not going to be too much that other people can use to shoot you down. Maybe if they do have an RPG, which most people don't have, but you will run into those people from time to time. They might have an RPG and shoot you down. But other than that, there's not going to be really anyone to try to shoot you down, because everyone in a tight circle is going to be focused on the people who are easiest to kill. So the people in the bottom or the people in the middle are going to be the people who are going to get sprayed at the entire time. So if you are on the high ground, a lot of people aren't going to be focused on trying to get shots on you, unless you're the last one alive, of course. But typically speaking, you're not going to have to worry about too much if you're on height. So that's what you should always try to recommend going for, and you're going to be burning through not as many materials as you were on the bottom, because if you're on the top, you're going to be using floors and pyramids, and that's pretty much it. But if you are on the bottom, you have to build a bunch of boxes, and on top of that, if you happen to get shot at, you do have to build more in that direction. So you're going to be burning through way more materials on the ground than you were if you were on high ground, and as well just way better positioning, and it's just much easier to rotate as well. So height is going to be the most important thing that you can have towards the end of the game. It's going to give you the biggest advantage possible when it comes to taking out the other players, and that's exactly what I did here at the end of this game. I maintained high ground, I was above both of the players, and it was honestly a very simple win because I had height, and I just constantly got shots at the other player while the zone was rotating. And you always want to make sure you're never really too high, because if you are too high up in the air, if you do get shot out, it can be very difficult to catch yourself, and you might end up dying to fall damage. So I would say when it comes to being on height, you want to probably be about, I would say, 1 or 2 stories above the next highest player. That's probably the best way to go. And with that being said, that's a wrap up for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys liked it, make sure you guys do drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, turn on my post notifications so you guys are notified for every single new video. And alright guys, I'll see you next video.